And now joining us today in the studio for a special interview to discuss the ongoing war, the Iranian threat, growing anti-Semitism around the world, and much, much more is philanthropist and new World Jewish Congress Israel President Sylvan Adams. Sylvan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, congratulations on your new position.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And, you're taking up this new role during a difficult time, in a post-October 7th world. So in this new capacity, what are some of the important issues you hope to sort of take on in this new role?
The fact is, October the 7th didn't create, but revealed a latent anti-Semitism that we, honestly, myself included, had thought had largely disappeared. And we knew that there were radical Islamists who were hostile forces in a variety of countries, especially in Europe, but also in my native Canada. We knew that they were there, but they have now been joined by their ideological captives, radical leftists, who have joined forces with them and revealed an anti-Semitism which I, as the son of two Holocaust surviving parents, would have never imagined with things that could be said openly after the post-Holocaust slogan of never again. I could never have imagined these things could be openly spoken and shockingly not criticized, and defended under the auspices of free speech. Now, this isn't free speech because this is hate speech, which would not have been tolerated against any other minority. Can you imagine visible minorities or the LGBTQ community being subjected to hideous, blasphemous, insulting commentary, and somebody defending their rights of free speech? No, these things would have been shut down in 5 minutes. So we are dealing with a new reality, as I said, revealed, not created by October the 7th, but revealed.
And, we're seeing this age-old phenomenon, as you said, take on new life. And is enough being done to combat this also from within the Jewish community? And, what more needs to be done, what can be done to combat this phenomenon?
So one of the things that's happened is these are not spontaneous, these demonstrations, these protests, these tent camps that we've seen, these are not spontaneous events. In fact, these are organized. There are paid operatives who organize them, who run them, who finance them, and they are paid operatives from Qatar, Iran, and more recently China. And they've been at it for over 20 years. There are trillions of dollars behind this campaign. And so we need to wake up. This is a wake-up call for us. We can win the physical wars on the battlefield, but to win, we need to win also in the world, in the world of public opinion. And we are losing that war against a very capable, determined propaganda machine, well-financed propaganda machine. And this is a wake-up call. So it's all hands on deck. We need to unite the Jewish world with our brain power. How are we going to catch up against, as I said, trillions of dollars against, we're 20 years behind. Well, there's a new development, a technological development that is a game changer for us, and it's called AI. And we will be able to combat them, I have no doubt. One of the things that these operatives do is, and they are planted in every city, believe it or not. I'm well versed in this subject, we know their identities, we know who they are, and what they've done is They have their own following, which is quite limited typically, but then they use these bots, and they are able to propagate their message on social media, which is where largely where young people get their information today, and multiply it to literally to tens and tens of millions of people. So we need to use our own. This is a war. This is a war, and we can't afford to lose the information war any more than we can afford to lose a physical war. Our standing in the world is being challenged. Our Prime Minister and former Defense Minister were indicted by international institutions that, again, everything is feeding into this very, very determined anti-Israel, which is really an anti-Semitic campaign. They are out to get us. We've woken up, I hope, and I hope that we're at work, hard at work, looking to correct. I know that I've initiated some projects myself. I use my former home of Montreal as a laboratory, and we have a fantastic project that we've initiated, which I hope, if successful, we can export to virtually every other city, every other Jewish community, and in defense of our good name.
So, we focused heavily on the negative, on the anti-Semitism, but I want to ask, looking to the future, are you optimistic for the state of Israel and for the Jewish people?
I'm always optimistic. And, I moved to Israel a number of years ago, and I like to say that I moved from Canada. I wouldn't have moved to a country that is less open, tolerant, pluralistic, of course, fiercely democratic than my native Canada. Why would I? So I am very optimistic for the future. In fact, the tragic events of October the 7th at a very, very high price ended up with the ring of fire around us and our strategic comeback, both in Gaza, starting in Gaza, but then in Lebanon, the fall of Assad, our humiliation of Iran by taking out so many of its military assets, and our demonstration that that deterrence is back, and our demonstration of our military prowess. So we've reversed the equation in the Middle East. We were a punching bag. We took rocket fire for years and years since Hamas took over in 2015, and now we had a missile. Unfortunately, the Houthis fired a missile. I heard sirens in Tel Aviv today, but this is one missile. We used to have dozens and dozens of missiles sent over, and so we've reversed it. We are on the verge, and I'm hopeful with the support of the United States and the Trump administration. I'm hopeful that we're on the verge of creating conditions for many more countries to enter into peace agreements with us, including perhaps Syria, maybe Lebanon. If the regime in Iran can be pressured to fall, why not Iran join? And if all of that happens, I can see this being an era of 100 years of peace.
Absolutely. Let's hope so. Sylvan Adams, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.